Hi Taurus, welcome to your June 2018 reading. So I know these messages are all a bit delayed by about a week, and you're the last one in the bunch, I'm sorry. But a lot of it was to do with any backlash that I get or any negative comments always seem to come into the Taurus reading. So I was kind of nervous about doing it this month, to be honest, because I felt like I was getting it just felt like most of the comments that were a wee bit dodgy were coming from the Taurus reading, but I think a lot of it was also cross-watchers that were angry. If you said something nice about Taurus, and it's like, this is Taurus reading, so I'm just going to convey what comes through, and that's it. It's authentic. It's just what's coming through for me personally. If you don't like it, there's loads of other readers. You don't have to comment on it and give me such grief. So the first card that's come out is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is your energy, Taurus. It is earthy energy, practical energy, thinking about the material. It could mean that you've got your mind on your money this month, particularly for June. Page of Swords, so it's sort of like harsh communication. It may just be the cards laughing at what I just said about the comments coming from a couple of Queen of Pentacles people. But for the most part, Taurus, I feel like this energy for you will be quite good this month. Definitely you'll have your mind on your money. I mean, Gemini is your second house. The new moon's going to be on the 13th in that side. So if you want to manifest money, it's going to be an amazing, amazing time to do so. So on the 13th, make your intentions known. Be certain of what type of money you want to manifest. Don't just say, I want to be a millionaire. Point by point, what type of things you need. If you need money for something, say, I want to manifest this amount of money for this, and I want to do this with my money, and I want to have this opportunity, and I want this cash flow coming in. Amazing time for money, Taurus, and Taurus is all about money. I mean, with Uranus as well, and Taurus, the world, the economy is going to be feeling a big difference and a lot of changes, maybe even changes to the currencies of some countries. That's what happened the last time. During the Great Depression and stuff, and the inflation, money was the forefront of most world news. So it's an unpredictable sign, Uranus, but to have it in your sign, it means that there's going to be some interesting changes in your life. You may already be feeling those. And if strange and unexpected things have happened to you, please comment them, because I'm curious to find out. It's going to be an amazing transit for you. Now, it will be retrograding back into Aries at some point this year for a while. Look who's underneath again. But once it's in your sign, it'll be there for at least 8 years. Now, the Justice card is here. So some of you might be dealing with some of you are dealing with a Libra. Or an air sign that you may feel like the relationship's unbalanced, but you may feel like they're just being a little bit unfair, or they've done something unfair. Justice is being crossed by the King of Swords, so I feel like this is somebody that's not been acting completely in a way that's justified, is what I'm thinking. Six of Wands is here, so we have a victory of some sorts, but we have delays. So maybe you got offered a job that's been taking longer, or maybe you're feeling a little bit indecisive about what it is that you want to do, which is stopping you progressing. This could be in a relationship, but the Ace of Cups is coming in, so there's new love coming in for a lot of you, or a renewed love. Two of Wands, the Five of Wands, Five of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. And then there's you guys, but of course you can be dealing with a Capricorn or a Virgo as well. What I'm kind of seeing is that there has been either delays with an actual air sign person, possibly a Libra, legal delays, contractual delays, or this may be representative of Mars going retrograde in Aquarius at the end of the month. So there may be delays in that field. Now, Aquarius for you is, I believe, 10th house energy, so it could represent career. The career delays in moving forward with the job, delays in moving forward with a particular contract is what I'm getting very strongly for a lot of Taurus people. If we're looking at this in a romantic context, I feel like there's some indecisions there as well. And I feel for those of you that are completely single and don't have anyone in mind, there's somebody new coming in. You guys are going to be very well aspected for a new love coming in. Particularly as last month we had the new moon in your own sign. A lot of you are going to be feeling a lot more refreshed and a lot more together. And we would have had a full moon last month in your sign of partnerships. So I feel like there's a lot more clarity in terms of the type of person that you want to be with and what you will and won't accept from a person. Nonetheless, for some reason, there's a little bit of anxiety here. It hasn't reached full Ten of Swords. So at the minute, while the Ten of Swords is something that's actually happened in the external, this is kind of mental for me. Like, this is kind of like, you know, things that are going on internally in your own head, anxieties about the future, anxieties about things in general. Now, a lot of people this week, there's kind of a fog thing, the Grand Trine and stuff. A lot of people have been feeling quite anxious in general, like an anxious feeling, and sometimes in the rundown from a full moon to a new moon, I think people can feel a little bit more run down, can feel a little bit more anxious about things that are coming up, possibly decisions to make, but I feel like a lot of this is internalized. And I don't know, I feel like there could be arguments with you and somebody here with the Five of Wands. Like, you could be arguing with siblings, you could be arguing with friends, there could have been a little bit of discord going on in your immediate environment, or regarding a decision that you make. So you may have made a decision and other people may not agree with it. Similarly, someone may have made a decision and you don't agree, and there could be a little bit of hurt energy there. There could be conflict, and there is a need, I guess, to watch what you say to rectify this. You know, there's a chance here to pour oil on troubled waters. So this may be with a particular female friend, and you have to decide if it's worth losing this friend for the sake of being right, or the sake of being, you know, someone being right and someone being wrong. You have to decide if you can compromise with these people, because I do feel like there's a little bit of discord going on. Now, it may be with an air sign, but it could also be with anybody, really. So I feel like the air sign may be more the legality of things, but there could also be an air sign person. Taurus, let's see. The Devil. Ooh, interesting. The Knight of Wands. Okay. Some of you may have been hoping to relocate, and there is a delay on the actual contracts of the house. I'm just getting contracts really strongly with you guys, with Justice here and the Hanged Man. Delays in that. It may also be that you're dealing with a Capricorn or a fire energy as well, as this is crossing, but for Knights it can really be more so the delivering of a message or the delivering of an action rather than a specific sign. We have the Lovers here, so there was a relationship possibly with someone who was a little bit egotistical or narcissistic. And for some of you, it was just a relationship that was actually a success. So some of you are in a relationship now that you're quite happy, but there are delays. And there may be delays when you are involved with a fire sign, because it's a Queen. Some of you may be waiting for a fire sign to commit to something or make a decision on things. And there's a little bit of difficulty in making that actual decision that satisfies you both. Page of Pentacles. So some of you are starting a new job, I think. Could be more creative than what you're used to. More like something to satisfy your soul. Now the Ten of Cups is coming up in the outcome position, Taurus, as well. You know, we go from the Nine of Swords to the Ten of Cups. So the anxieties were unfounded, is what I'm thinking. The anxieties were unnecessary. A good thing was on its way anyway. Now, also in July, Jupiter is going to be going direct in Scorpio, which is your 7th house of partnerships and contracts. So at the minute, it makes sense for things like that to be delayed and for there to be disagreements. But on the other side of things, you're going to be going forward in July with so much more awareness. You know, I feel like July is going to be a very, 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 very positive month for you, Taurus. But I think in the meantime, you're dealing with this retrograde energy, and at the minute, you've hit a wall. Like, you've hit this frustrated wall where you just think things aren't progressing the way you wanted them to. You were hoping this would be more auspicious and more abundant. You were hoping for more results quicker, and these delays are frustrating you, and you just feel like everything's going at a really slow pace. It may also be that, you know, you're just not seeing eye to eye with a particular person, and this could be a water person, this could be a fire person, but it could be any sign. This is coming across to me more like an energy. So I think you could be disagreeing with people about the way you want to progress with your life, or you're just more open to miscommunications and conflict than usual. Now, I do feel like there is a reason for the delay here, and I think it's the retrograde period. But I mean, Venus is in your third house of communication, and your relationships can either flourish here or they can be a little bit more temperamental. And you will actually have more of an ability to communicate what it is that you want than you realize. And there's really no need for discord with this particular relationship. That being said, a lot of the reason this seems to be happening is because of this Seven of Wands here, where there's bickering and the defenses go up, and people are seeing the glass half empty rather than half full in terms of their relationships. So people's flaws are being more exposed than usual. This could actually be to do with the full moon being in your sign. Last month, it may have made you feel, because we're still dealing with the energies, as they go. No, the full moon last month was in your 7th house, sorry, so that was your partnerships. They did come under pressure, and you may still be dealing with the pressure from that. I mean, the new moon in Gemini is going to be very much to do with, your worth and your finance, but a lot to do with your relationship with yourself. When you check in with yourself at the end of the day and see how you did, do you feel regret about how you handled a situation, or do you feel good about how you handled a situation? I think in your relationships, sometimes with full moons in that partnership house, as we saw last month, people's flaws can be exposed more. The people that you're dealing with, you can start to see them in a more irritable way. You can, little things can get in your nerves, and it can just heighten that sensitivity to it. So I do think this maybe led to some conflicts, and you've been feeling anxious and worried about them. But with the Ten of Cups here, it is the gracious energy of reconciliation and renewal and happiness and just getting along in good times. It's that kind of energy for me. Sees you in a much happier spot than you were last month. Taurus. Ooh, the Fool. Yeah, brand new start, brand new energy. Well, it could be Aries as well. For those of you that are dealing with a fire sign, there may be a very strong Aries link here. And let me see. King of Wands, yeah, fire sign, fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Crossed by the Ten of Pentacles. You may have been arguing with a partner about money, or you may have had different ideas on how to spend money. Maybe money came in and you don't know how to spend it. Queen of Pentacles is here. Two of Swords, yeah. Arguing and progression. Now, I'm seeing a little bit of a link here with one of the other readings, because Sagittarius, which is fire energy, and Temperance is there, which is Sagittarius too. Some of you that are in a relationship with a Sagittarius don't know how to progress things. They weren't sure how to progress things. There was an issue of timing. Nobody wanted to move at the same pace, and I'm getting a little bit of that creeping into this reading. Don't give up on this though. Page of Swords. Don't fight with people. If you're feeling like you need to lash out, breathe for a second with the people that you're dealing with. I feel like it could be particularly with kids, could be getting on your nerves, or there could be arguments about children, or arguments over text. I can see someone really, keyboard warring it up and being annoyed about something, and then once it's sent and they have a minute, they're like, oh no, that's not what I meant, or I read that wrong. Patience. Four of Pentacles, High Priestess, ooh, and the Seven of Swords. And the King of Pentacles is underneath, which is your energy. But it's also another earth sign, so you're dealing with a Virgo or Capricorn or another Taurus or whatever. Don't cheat yourself out of this happiness, Taurus. I think this is more like you, how do I put this? I feel a little bit like you get off with this really happy picture and you start super analyzing it or accusing the other person of something. I feel like your anxieties may get the best of you this month, Taurus, and you may be accusing somebody of something, or you may feel like you're not with the most reliable person in the world and start to question it. And I'm going to have to draw a clarifying card, because that Ten of Cups in the middle of a Nine of Swords and a Seven of Swords is just bizarre. So, clarifying messages for Taurus. Oh, okay. Page of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. Pick and choose your battles, because you're going to lose out in a very happy romantic situation with somebody that actually is quite reliable by being, you know, you can fight with this person that you're with if you want to, but, you know, if you start to realize that you're actually in the wrong, make sure that you do back down and you apologize, because I don't think you should lose out on quite a good relationship. It can be with a younger water sign as well. I don't feel like you should lose out on a relationship just because of stubbornness, you know, of feeling like you're in the right about something, or like a past grievance. Maybe you chose to stay with someone that had done something that upset you, and you've not really let it go, and it's coming into your relationship in a big way, and you're not feeling completely happy with this person. Maybe it's leading you to pick fights, and vice versa. Maybe it's that you did something on them and they're not happy, and there's a discord going on here. There is a need very strongly here to forgive and let go if you've decided to stay with this person. If it's someone from the past that you're still angry about, you need to let it go for yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to attract the same situation and same type of person into your life. Let go and let God. You know, just like let it be. At the risk of sounding like a Beatles album, you really just need to like let it go. Or a Frozen soundtrack. You just need to release it for yourself. I think it was Oprah that once said, anger is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. It is the most unkind thing you can do in yourself, is hold on to the grief that someone else has caused you. It's just not, it's not right. You know, if someone did something that really hurt you and they're okay with the way things went, what sense does it make to punish yourself over and over and over again for their shortcoming? It doesn't. It really doesn't, and it can affect your relationships going forward. And that's something that you really need to be wary of, because I feel like your relationship with yourself fundamentally is at question here. And that can be the new moon in your second house of self-worth. It feels a little bit like you need to be honest with yourself, and you need to be clear on what it is that you want, and you need to be honest with the people you're with. And if you've chosen to stay with someone that's hurt you, you do have to forgive them, because you can't be in a relationship where you punish someone for the rest of their life. Similarly, you can't let someone else punish you for the rest of your life either, especially not yourself. Don't let you punish you for the rest of your life. I hope you enjoyed that, Taurus, and if you want a private reading with me, the link is listed below, and if not, I will see you in July. Toodaloo!